A Sun Prairie West employee accused of child sex crimes. An expert weighs in on what staff should have done when they found out.
And an update in the case of a man accused in a poisoning plot, how he pleaded in court today.
And it's still very warm here in southern Wisconsin, but a big change is coming. I'll have the details coming up.
Hello, everybody. You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
Thanks for having us in today. A former Sun Prairie West staff member is charged with child sex crimes. Robert Gilkey-Meisegeier faces 13 counts of child pornography and 2 counts of child exploitation as of Monday.
Just hours after the charges were filed against him, members of the Sun Prairie community addressed the district school board. Many are asking them to step down for the way they handled the incident.
One parent at Monday's board meeting called the handling of the case a systemic failure. This afternoon, News 3 Now had the chance to speak with the executive director of Safe Harbor, a local children's advocacy group. She gave us some insight on what people who work with kids are supposed to do when they suspect abuse or misconduct.
By law, a report has to be made to law enforcement or human services. Reporting within your internal policies is not enough.
The criminal complaint alleged the district's HR department previously investigated a tip regarding Gilkey-Meisegeier's relationship with an underage child, but did not report the tip to Dane County Human Services or the Sun Prairie Police Department. The district eventually closed that internal investigation, marking it unsubstantiated. News 3 Now has reached out to the school board and its members, but we have yet to receive a response.
We have a breaking news update. The man accused of trying to poison women that he went on dates with is pleading not guilty. Paul Van Dyne appeared in court today in Rock County for a preliminary hearing. He's charged with 3 counts of first-degree homicide, aggravated battery, first-degree recklessly endangering safety, and stalking, resulting in bodily harm. Van Dyne and his alleged co-conspirator, Andrea Whitaker, are also charged in Dane County. They're expected to enter pleas there on August 5th.
We'll provide updates to these stories right here on News 3 Now. To receive notifications directly to your phone, you can download the free Channel 3000 mobile app.
Let's get a check on the weather now. Boy, it's another hot and humid day out there, but some changes are on the way. Jacob Montesano is watching the weather. Hi, Jacob.
Hey, Susan. Yeah, today looks like the last very warm day, at least in the near future, as tomorrow will feel a lot different. But we still got to get through this evening as temperatures still in the middle to upper 80s and heat index values are in the lower 90s. In fact, 96 is the current heat index in Janesville, so still seeing some very hot conditions across southern Wisconsin. But that's not the only thing that's going on right now. There also is some lower air quality. An air quality alert is in effect for the entire state, and this is going to last until noon on Thursday. Now, at this point in time, it is still pretty good across southern Wisconsin, the current air quality. And looking outside, this is the Platteville sky cam. You could see just a little bit of wildfire smoke out there, but nothing too noticeable right now. But we are going to see some heavier wildfire smoke move into the area overnight. So as we take a look at the future track smoke forecast, you could see the light to orange colors indicating that smoke moving into the region. And for tomorrow, we are going to see some rain, and that may help kind of keep the wildfire smoke north. The northern portion of our area will see less rain, but also more smoke. Now, once we get into Thursday, we might start the day with some more moderate smoke, but it is going to get better throughout the day as that air quality alert will expire at noon on Thursday. At least that's when it's projected to expire for now. That may change depending on conditions developing. Now, here's a look at tomorrow's forecast. The 2 things you may notice, a lot of rain and much cooler temperatures. So I'll talk through both coming up a bit later.
All right, thank you, Jacob. Yeah, it doesn't feel like football, but football season suddenly is closer than just right around the corner. Actually, in some ways, it's already here.
That's right. Badger football started their preseason prep today in Platteville, and our Andrew Banstra was down there with them and has this report.
It may feel like summer just started, but believe it or not, football season has officially begun for the Wisconsin Badgers. They reported to UW-Platteville's campus today, where they kicked off day 1 of their fall camp. There are a lot of changes this year for the Badgers, but one thing has stayed consistent under Luke Fickell's tenure: this trip down to Platteville, something that he says always helps the team.
Being away is important, whether that's for our players or for our coaches, where you can kind of try to, hone out a lot of the other things. You change your environment a little bit. You got to rely upon each other. In order for us to do this the best way, our guys got to spend time together. Our guys got to understand that it's not just about the X's and O's that's going to win games and allow us to handle adversity. That's where we've got to continue to take advantage of these time out here and all the things that we do have out here.
And we are just getting started down here in Platteville. Today was the first of 15 practices the Badgers will have down here at Ralph E. Davis Stadium before they return back to Madison for their August 28th season opener. For now in Platteville, Andrew Banstra, News 3 Sports.
Thank you, Andrew, and we'll continue to follow the Badgers as they prepare for their upcoming season right here on News 3 Now.
You can catch more of Andrew's coverage of today's practice coming up tonight on News 3 Now at 6.
A local library is celebrating a milestone this year.
When we come back, Josh Spreiter shows us how the Angie Williams Cox Library is commemorating a century of operations in Partyville. That's coming up a little later in the 608.
And it's still pretty muggy out there today. Meteorologist Jacob Montesano tells us whether we can expect more rain in the forecast.
Plus, no ketchup? No problem. That's the vibe at the upcoming National Mustard Day. We're talking with two of the organizers about what to expect and where you can sample some mustard ice cream. Sounds good on a day like today. That's when Live at 4 continues. Well, it is sweet, spicy, tangy, and 0 calories. Bonus. It's not a miracle. It's mustard.
I think you came up with a new slogan for it. Yeah. Well, soon you'll have an excuse to celebrate the condiment. National Mustard Day returns to downtown Middleton this Saturday, August 2nd. And here to talk about the National Mustard Museum founder, Barry Levinson, and Lisa Karras from Jones Dairy Farm, sponsor of the event.
Welcome, guys. Hi, Barry.
Thank you so much. Good to see you.
Yeah. Barry, I have to say, years before I lived in Madison, I saw you on Oprah, so this is a real treat, for real, that I get to meet you.
Well, you're also going to be tasting mustard ice cream.
Ooh, okay.
So,
we'll get to that in a little bit, but I want to know, what can we expect from this National Mustard Day this weekend?
Well, you're going to be tasting mustards, and there's live music from basically 10 o'clock until 4. We have a raffle as well. So it's a lot of fun. Mustard games for kids of all ages. So
it's a celebration.
It is a celebration of mustard.
Lisa, why is this something that Jones Dairy Farm wanted to sponsor this year?
Yes, we are so excited to sample our Braunschweiger. So for those who aren't familiar, Braunschweiger is a German liver sausage, and one of the top condiments that we found people use Braunschweiger with is actually mustard. So what a perfect pairing. And so Barry and his team helped us curate 3 different mustards, which we'll be showcasing on Saturday: a dill pickle, a Bavarian, and a beer mustard. And you'll be able to sample not only the mustards, but Braunschweiger too. And so it's a great introduction to a Jones product that most people don't really know about.
There you go, Brady, because you were just saying you haven't tried it before.
Yeah.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Okay.
It really is good.
Okay, I can add that. I can make a little charcuterie platter.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yes.
Barry, did I hear that the Mustard Museum got a little bit of a makeover?
It did. In fact, we had what we call a reglowing for mustard, and there is also a new Dijon exhibit, which is fabulous.
How many varieties of mustard do you have in the museum? Have you ever counted them?
Oh yes.
How many?
7,085.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wow, and you, Lisa, you brought some samples along with you
Well,
today.
Barry did,
Yeah?
but this is a highlight of the Mustard Day on Saturday.
There you go,
It
Brady?
sells out every year, right?
Barry, what is this?
It's raspberry honey mustard, and it's sold out the last 3 years. So it is really good.
This is mustard ice cream. Who makes this for you?
Chocolate Shop.
Oh, wow. And there's really mustard in it?
There is really mustard
Yeah,
What
in
do you
it.
think?
I think it's really good. I can taste, it's like a sweet honey mustard, like you were saying.
Right.
But it goes well with the ice cream. I do see the little mustard seeds in there. I've never had mustard ice cream before.
It is really good, and you can really taste it.
Yeah. All right. Consider me a fan. I would order this.
With a side of Braunschweiger, and you're all set.
Perfect meal.
Perfect.
Our last question now. There is a big rule: no ketchup allowed.
That is true. We have hot dogs from Usinger's and bratwurst as well, but no ketchup.
quickly, because we don't have a lot of time, can you tell, how did this all get started with you?
I started collecting jars of mustard in 1986 when the Red Sox, my beloved Red Sox, lost the World Series. And I couldn't sleep, so I went to an all-night supermarket to wash away my tears. And I was in front of the mustards, and I heard a voice that said, "If you collect us, they will come."
And it worked out.
And the rest, as they say, is history.
The rest is history.
Yeah.
Well, we must thank you both for being on with us to talk about Mustard Day, and that's August 2nd, this Saturday in Middleton.
This Saturday, yes.
We'll see you there. Thank
See
you,
you there.
Lisa.
Thank
Good
you,
to see you,
guys.
Barry.
Great.
Thank you so much. Thanks for the treat. We'll share this with everybody else, too.
Please do.
All right, Jacob, if you want some mustard ice cream, we have some, but how's the weather looking for this weekend?
Well, it is looking very good, and you know, the last couple of days have made a lot of people want to get out and get some ice cream. Tomorrow, you know, you may want to get some just over the fact that it's going to rain and it may not be very pleasant outside, but it is going to be very, very nice once we get to Thursday, where we're going to have high temperatures in the 70s, and we also will be dry, not just Thursday, but also through the weekend. So after that rain tomorrow, we're looking at very nice weather to end the week. Now, looking at the current radar again, we're not seeing anything right now. Not expect to see anything for several hours. In fact, the rain isn't expected to move into our area until closer to sunrise tomorrow morning. But once it does, we are going to see some widespread showers and thunderstorms, especially once we get towards the late morning and early afternoon. And most of the rain tomorrow will be in the light to moderate side, but we are still expected to see a few thunderstorms, especially for areas south of Madison. But we're really not expecting any severe weather risk with the rain tomorrow. However, the rain is expected to last for much of the afternoon and into the evening. Starting to clear up a little bit overnight Wednesday, but we still could see rain for some areas, maybe lasting even into later, or I should say Thursday morning after sunrise, but that rain Thursday will clear out by the time we get to the afternoon, and the rest of the day, once that rain clears out, will be just about perfect for your Thursday. But looking at concerts on the square, it does not look very likely that it will last, or it will occur tomorrow, especially considering the fact that Thursday looks very, very nice. But for tomorrow, we're going to have temperatures in the lower 70s and 60s for much of the day with plenty of rainfall. But again, Thursday is looking very nice. The call will be made tomorrow, but right now it doesn't look ideal. And again, a lot of that has to do with the fact that how good Thursday looks. Now, speaking of Thursday and for the rest of the week, we're pretty much going to see no rain once that clears out Thursday morning through the weekend. Might see the rain return for Monday and towards the kind of the middle of next week. But for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, very little rain is expected. Now, I want to reference the current temperatures to show you the difference in the temperatures right now to what we are going to see tomorrow. High temperatures will be in the lower 70s, but a lot of the day will feature highs in the 60s. It's going to feel very nice. Obviously, it is going to rain most of the day, but don't worry because Thursday and the end of the week will be very nice with dry weather with highs in the upper 70s to lower 80s. And if you notice the normal starting to go down a little bit, and this is the first time this summer we really have those normal temperatures going down, and obviously they're going to continue to drop throughout the fall and then into the early winter. But we're kind of past the peak heat for our southern Wisconsin. Now, we obviously are still going to see some hot days in August, but on average, we're going to start to see the temperatures get a little cooler. But starting tomorrow, they're going to get cooler, but then going forward, they're going to get slowly warmer and warmer for the weekend and for next week. And then by the time we get to next week, we may start to see some hotter days with some higher humidity values as well.
All right, Jacob, thank you. To national news now. A New York City police officer and 3 other people are dead after a shooting inside a Manhattan office building last night. 27-year-old Shane Tamura of Las Vegas used a high-powered rifle on the victims before turning the gun on himself. New York Mayor Eric Adams says a note was found with Tamura. In it, Tamura said that he suffered from CTE, a known brain injury in contact sports. The preliminary investigation shows the gunman meant to go to the NFL offices, but he took the wrong elevator.
Jeffrey Epstein co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell says she won't testify before Congress without immunity. She's appealing her conviction to the U.S. Supreme Court. Meanwhile, during his visit to Scotland, President Trump hosted British Prime Minister Keir Starmer, with starvation in Gaza frequently dominating their discussions. Today, Starmer held an emergency cabinet meeting and announced a major policy change.
The UK will recognise the State of Palestine by the United Nations General Assembly in September unless the Israeli government takes substantive steps to end the appalling situation in Gaza.
The U.S. has not agreed to recognize a Palestinian state, which Israel opposes. But President Trump says Israel needs to allow more aid into Gaza as thousands are starving.
Two of the largest railroads in the U.S. plan to combine. The $72 billion deal would create America's first transcontinental freight railroad. Union Pacific and Norfolk Southern announced the plan today. Rail customers are concerned that any merger could result in service problems and supply chain disruptions. The railroads say the deal would benefit their customers. The deal still needs regulatory approval.
To Wall Street, U.S. stock indices edged back from their record levels. The Dow dropped 205 points. The Nasdaq is down 80. The S&P 500 is down 19 points. Meanwhile, after 2 days of meetings, Chinese and American trade negotiators don't have a deal to prevent tariffs from surging again. Those are set to start on August 12th. If China and the U.S. don't reach a deal, the U.S. will impose a 145% tariff on Chinese goods, and China will impose a 125% tariff on American goods. For hundreds of other countries, the date reciprocal tariffs go into effect is August 1st. That's on Friday.
Still ahead, a local library celebrates a big milestone this year.
Josh Sprider takes us to the Angie Williams Cox Library in the 608 when Live at 4 returns. Is celebrating a big milestone in the 608.
Josh Sprider has the story from Partyville.
100 years for the Angie W. Cox Library here in Partyville. We're here to help them celebrate this major milestone. Joining us today is Christina McGuire, the director. Thank you so much for having us here.
Welcome to Partyville.
So this is an amazing place and a really big staple in this community.
Yeah, it sure is. Our library is the center of the Partyville community. It's really wonderful.
100 years, I mean, going back to 1925, 2025, that's a long time to be able to continue having a library for a town this size.
Yeah, so Angie W. Cox started the original library across the street, and she moved here in 1934, and we've been a library ever since.
Oh my gosh. Talk about the building, because this is a big building here in downtown, and also a building that is a staple here in the area.
Yeah, so this library is 5 stories. The main library takes up the 3rd and the 4th floors. We have meeting rooms on the 5th floor, makerspace in the basement.
And it's like more than just reading. You have a lot of events here as well.
Yeah, we have adult programming, children's programming, we have yoga, we have eccentrics. Not only that, we have a band concert that is outside on Thursday evenings. It's pretty amazing.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah.
So obviously you've got this beautiful space inside. Let's head outside too, because you've really done a lot of work on the exterior of the building.
Yeah, so not only is our building a historic building, we have this great library lawn out here. And just recently we expanded the library lawn to include this beautiful pavilion and walking paths, and also a story walk.
That is super unique, and to continue changing over time, that's really what it's all about. But the fact that you still have the community support lifting you up, that's got to be huge.
Yeah, year after year our community just lets us know how much they love the library as much as we do. It's pretty amazing.
Awesome. So as the director, to be able to say that you have had this library for 100 years, I mean, that has to be pretty special for you in your position.
It is. I just love this place. It's in my heart. It's quite amazing. Every day I wake up and I'm excited to come to work.
Oh, that's amazing. That's what life's all about. So you're going to be having an end of summer party coming up next weekend. Let's talk about that, because this sounds like a perfect opportunity for folks to come and check it out.
Yeah, you're welcome to come to the Partyville Library Saturday, August 9th. We have live music playing in the pavilion. We have cake. We have a bouncy house. We have free sandwiches. what more could you ask for?
Oh my gosh, that sounds like a party in Partyville. Let's talk about how folks can continue supporting you so you can keep this mission going into year 200, let's say.
Yeah, that's great. Come to the library, come check us out, come see our beautiful building. You can also see what events we have on our Facebook page, and you can check out our website at www.partyvillelibrary.com.
Awesome, we'll have that up on channel3000.com as well. Christina, thanks so much for having us here today.
Yeah, thanks.
And if you'd like to learn more, again, just head to our website. It's a party in Partyville. I'm Josh Breiter, News 3 Now.
Thank you, Josh and Christina. I'd like to take my book and sit right next to that little fountain. Beautiful.
That building, the outdoor space, both incredible.
Yeah, to the next 100. Muggy conditions continue today. It's still very humid outside. When we're back, Jacob will look at whether the humidity will lead to any possible storms.
And why Wisconsin and 19 other states are suing the U.S. Department of Agriculture.
News 3 Now, live at 4.
Good afternoon and welcome to Live at 4.
Let's take a look outside today. It's another warm and humid day. Oh, what a
splash pad.
Oh, how priceless is she? Standing room only at the splash pad today. That's where you want to be. The weather words watching for a wet Wednesday. Some rain is moving in. We're watching the forecast for concerts on the square. And then will that break the heat, Jacob?
Yeah, tomorrow is going to feel a lot cooler. Unfortunately, we're going to see that rainfall, but after that rain clears out, it's going to remain a little bit on the cooler side, at least compared to right now and the last couple of days. Now, we're still in the middle to upper 80s for a lot of the region, and the heat index values are still in the lower 90s for some areas. I mentioned earlier, especially south of Madison, 94 in Monroe, 96 in Janesville. How about 98 in southeast Wisconsin in Kenosha? So still very hot out there, but these heat index values will not return to this level for the foreseeable future. Noticeably cooler tomorrow, but unfortunately we are going to be dealing with some lower air quality. Kind of seeing that right now, although it's really going to get worse overnight. There's an air quality alert for the entire area until noon on Thursday. Like I mentioned, pretty good right now. Some areas at moderate air quality, but we'll see some heavier wildfire smoke move in. Looking outside at our Platteville sky cam, if you look closely, you could see some wildfire smoke out there, but right now it's not too noticeable. It will get a lot more noticeable though once we get to the overnight hours and into early Wednesday, where we see kind of the yellow and orange indicate those colors indicating some heavier smoke moving into the region. Now the rain tomorrow will help kind of keep it out of the areas that will experience the rainfall. So places north, which are less likely to see the rainfall, will see some heavier smoke, and far southern Wisconsin, which will likely see the rain, will see some lighter smoke, but everyone still expect to see some lower air quality until roughly Thursday afternoon. And that's also when conditions will finally get better, while at the same time not being very rainy. So I'll talk more in detail about the rainfall and the drop in temperatures coming up a bit later.
Thank you, Jacob. Now to an update on the deadly shooting, North Side shooting from last week.
Madison police say 26-year-old Joshua Dean is charged with first-degree intentional homicide and possessing a gun as a felon. Police allege Dean shot and killed 33-year-old Lee Scott III on Schlingen Avenue.
Police responded to the area at about 4 o'clock in the morning last Tuesday. There, officers found Scott with gunshot wounds. He was taken to the hospital in critical condition. After a days-long battle, he died from his injuries. Police say Dean has been in their custody since the day of the shooting on a parole violation.
The man accused of trying to poison women that he went on dates with is pleading not guilty. Paul Van Dyne appeared in court today in Rock County for a preliminary hearing. He's charged with 3 counts of first-degree homicide, aggravated battery, recklessly endangering safety, and stalking. Van Dyne and his alleged co-conspirator, Andrea Whitaker, are also charged in Dane County. They're expected to enter pleas there on August 5th.
One person is dead after a 3-vehicle crash overnight. Just before 12:30 in the morning, Dane County deputies responded to State Highway 19 and Wiedemann Drive. The sheriff's office has not released details about what happened, but said a 56-year-old driver was treated at the scene and released. 2 other drivers went to the hospital with serious injuries. A passenger died at the scene. The sheriff's office is investigating.
Wisconsin and 19 other states are suing the Department of Agriculture. They allege the USDA is improperly attempting to gather sensitive personal information about low-income families across the country who use food stamps. The allegation stems from the USDA's demand for information, including Social Security numbers and home addresses, from people who get the credits from the federal government to buy their groceries. In a statement on the lawsuit, Wisconsin Attorney General Josh Kaul said sensitive information about people shouldn't be turned over to the federal government simply because they applied for or received assistance. It's troubling that the federal government is working to compile this kind of information. Well, today marks day 6 of Packers training camp.
News 3 Now senior Packers writer Jason Wilde has analysis from up in Green Bay.
Hey guys, hello from Lambeau Field. You know, I've been doing this a really long time, and today I saw something that I'm not sure I've ever seen before, and it was really neat from a team bonding connectivity standpoint. Now, it didn't start out as neat. It started out as heated, as Rasheed Walker, the Packers left tackle, and J.J. Enagbare, one of their edge rushers, got into it at the end of a play. Rasheed Walker took it a little bit too far, and Matt LaFleur told him, get out of here, told him to go run a lap around the field. And what happened next? All of the other offensive linemen and Josh Jacobs, the Packers running back, and Tucker Kraft, the Packers tight end, ran with him. And I talked to Zach Tom, the right tackle, and I talked to Josh Jacobs afterward, and they both said the same thing. It's all for one and one for all. And we didn't want him running all by himself. That's the kind of bonding stuff that happens during training camp that seems like a little thing sometimes, but it really matters to team chemistry, and it was a really neat thing to see. That's it from here for now. I'll have more later, and of course a lot on channel3000.com.
What a great story. Thank you, Jason. To sign up for Jason Wilde's Extra Point newsletter, just head over to the Packers page on our website at channel3000.com.
Wisconsin has its first human case of West Nile so far this year.
UW Health's Dr. Jeff Potoff stops by with some tips to keep yourself safe from the virus a little later on Live at 4.
And Jacob Montesano has your first warn forecast. He'll show us whether the humid conditions could mean a rain date for concerts on the square.
Plus, a local director is hoping to transport moviegoers back to the 90s. Armand Rahman speaks to him about the ultimate 90s movie when we come back.
Well, check this out. This is a beautiful sight. Santa Monica, California, 74 degrees, partly cloudy there.
There's a little glimpse of the pier. Beautiful day.
I'd love a beach day. Doesn't that sound nice?
It does.
Well, time to break out the Jinko jeans, remember those? And chokers, because one local director is hoping to transport moviegoers back to the 1990s.
Armand Rahman spoke to him about his new feature film, The Ultimate 90s Movie. It's filming right here in Madison.
If you're missing Surge Soda, Beanie Babies, and Frosted Tips, a local film crew wants you to be a part of bringing that nostalgia to the screen, along with a powerful message.
All right, and action.
And with that, principal photography begins on the feature film, The Ultimate 90s Movie.
That's a working title. It's a 90s era coming-of-age film, just inspired by my upbringing in the 90s.
After working in the music industry and being considered for a few Grammy Awards, Joshua Mallett turned back to his love of filmmaking and is hoping to get as many local Southwest Wisconsinites on his cast and crew.
If you're local and you would like to actually have a speaking role, we're still looking for that in phase 2, because after we film phase 1, which is summer '98 with the kids, it flashes back to when these kids are adults and stuff and they're at a high school reunion. We'd love to get locals involved and just keep it homegrown, independent.
Mallett calls his film micro-budget. Even though the story takes place in the Chicagoland area where he grew up, he chose his current home of Madison as a good Midwest backdrop. Tonight at 6, hear from one of those extras and find out how you can be a part of the Ultimate 90s Movie.
Very nice. Thanks, Armand. You mentioned Beanie Babies. Remember when we thought we'd be millionaires if we collected Beanie Babies?
Collected all of them? Yeah.
Didn't work out for us. Well, coming up on Live at 4, Dr. Jeff Potoff stops by to talk about West Nile after a case was confirmed in a human in Wisconsin.
Whether we're seeing different trends compared to years past, we'll talk about it when we come back. The Wisconsin Department of Health Services has confirmed the first case of West Nile virus in our state in Barron County.
And they also collected mosquitoes in Milwaukee and Lafayette counties that tested positive. UW Health's Dr. Jeff Potoff is here with more information. Good to see you again.
Hi, Dr.
Good to see you
Potoff.
too. West Nile, it seems like it's become a fact of life for the summer, but still, how concerning is this?
Yeah, I think, for folks that might be high risk, like worth paying attention and decreasing your risk of getting mosquito bites. For a lot of us, though, probably not going to be a big deal. Most of us that are healthy will either not know we got West Nile if we were exposed to it, or we might think we caught like summer flu, when in fact maybe it was West Nile.
The Department of Health Services has been tracking this for a couple of years, and we have a graphic that shows the cases have kind of gone up and down. They're all over the place over the past 10 years. Is that all weather related, do you think, or what is?
Hard to say. There's so certainly things that promote high levels of mosquitoes would increase your chance for West Nile. So that would be lots of moisture, because they need moisture to reproduce, and then they like those high temperatures, so that increases it.
That's why it's been a good year this year.
Exactly. But other things like how many of these birds we have that typically are vectors for it. They're corvids, so typically like crows, blue jays, they're part of this factor. And then just even environmental things. Some years when the water isn't super high and it's borderline drought, we concentrate mosquitoes, and then that can increase West Nile in those specific locations.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, and like you said, like the weather with how it's been, it's perfect for, I think, like, what is it, the Culex mosquito?
That's a specific mosquito.
And so they can just spread it just by like hopping around and biting whatever?
Yeah, so usually what'll happen is birds are the vectors, and they're very sensitive to it. So one of the warning signs that West Nile is maybe in your area is you're finding like dead crows or dead blue jays, but typically the bird will get it. Mosquitoes will bite the bird. Now those mosquitoes are infected. If they go on to bite humans or horses, that's how we get it.
And can you get it from just one mosquito bite, or do you have to
No, it could be just one mosquito bite, and you could be unlucky.
How would you know?
You wouldn't know. So a lot of people are going to have no symptoms at all. Of the people who have symptoms, you're not going to identify it West Nile. You're going to be like, man, I got a headache, I've got a low-grade fever, not typically high, I've got muscle aches and pains, must have picked up a bug. You would never know. Usually when we diagnose it are those folks who get more sick. So now they're getting more like neuroinvasive disease, where they have, signs and symptoms are more like meningitis or encephalitis. That's when we would typically test for West Nile, and that's how you're going to see cases kind of like count up in the state. But a lot of these cases, there's really no way to diagnose them.
That's kind of scary to think about. And are there any long-term health consequences for
So
people?
for those people who have those mild cases, like, no, they heal. For those people who actually get admitted to a hospital, it does tend to be one of those diseases that linger. So at a year, only about 40% of people are back to normal. 60% will have some like festering symptoms of West Nile.
So you have to take the common sense precautions if you're going to be around mosquitoes.
Absolutely. You want to minimize mosquitoes around home. So like, don't let those standing water, bird baths, sometimes they have, pails or buckets that got a little bit of rainwater in them. Like, make sure you don't have that. And then if you're out at night, DEET, Picardin, these other kind of repellents, and you can treat your clothes, even your yard, with permethrin-based things. That's pretty effective, but be careful, it can be pretty toxic to cats.
Oh, that's good to know. Yeah.
All right, thank you, Dr. Potoff.
Thanks, Dr. Potoff. Good to see you.
Same.
We've had a lot of humidity and rain in our forecast, and some more rain on the way. Here's meteorologist Jacob Montesano.
Yeah, we are going to see plenty of rain tomorrow, but the good news is that after that rain clears out, we're going to see dry conditions with lower humidity levels as well. So the three things you need to know: scattered showers and storms for tomorrow, with highs in the 70s to end this week and potentially the weekend as well. And then we will see dry conditions during that time period as well, Thursday through the weekend. Now, we are going to see that rain for tomorrow. Not seeing anything right now, and we're not expecting anything for quite a while, for probably at least 12 hours. Most of it will move into the area during the morning on Wednesday. We'll see an increase in clouds overnight, but that rain not expected until the late morning and early afternoon for Wednesday, but it is expected throughout much of the afternoon and into the evening. Nothing is expected to be too heavy. Still could see heavy rain at times, but a lot of this rainfall will be light to moderate. Might see a few thunderstorms, but we're mostly going to see showers from this, and the severe weather risk is very, very unlikely. Wouldn't it wouldn't surprise me if we do see any severe weather. If we do see any, it would be for areas south of Madison. Now, this rain going to continue through the evening and into the overnight hours as we get into early Thursday. Still might see some lingering showers for areas south and east of Madison, but the majority of our area will be dry by sunrise Thursday, and even those areas will be dry once we get to Thursday afternoon, with very nice conditions in the forecast for your Thursday. Now, unfortunately, with the rainfall tomorrow, Constance Square not looking too great, but as I mentioned, Thursday looking very good. So if the forecast continues to what it's like right now, it will likely get pushed to Thursday, which would feature very nice temperatures and mostly dry conditions. Now, speaking of those dry conditions, once that rain does clear out, we're pretty much expecting no rainfall from Thursday, not just through the end of the week, but through the entire weekend. Might see some of that rain increase a little bit for Monday and towards the middle of next week, but it's going to be a very dry period and a very comfortable period temperature-wise. So today the highs have been in the middle 80s again. Tomorrow they're going to be in the lower 70s, with a majority of the day having having temperatures in the 60s. So it will be noticeably cooler tomorrow, and those temperatures will remain cooler compared to what we're seeing today for the rest of the 10-day forecast. Middle to upper 70s to lower 80s are in the forecast for Thursday through the weekend. Might start to get back into the middle 80s once we get towards the middle of next week, but until then, expect very comfortable weather, after this evening, as we're still going to see some warm temperatures this evening. And then we will see those warmer temperatures return for the middle of next week on top of some higher humidity values. But until we get to that point, it's going to be very nice once that rain clears out Wednesday.
Madison's world-renowned Carbone Cancer Center is helping a Madison man pursue his passion for travel.
Nearly 4 years ago, Paul Lynch was diagnosed with a rare eye cancer. Lynch's cancer made it hard for him to see and nearly impossible to see the world. That's a tradition he's had with his family since he was a kid, seeing the country in his parents' RV. After taking a break from his travels due to cancer, new treatments at UW Health's Carbone Cancer Center are letting him get back to what he loves.
Yeah, I think it's the only way to travel. So trying to hit the United States a little more. I had a condo downtown Madison that I remodeled, and I actually close on here in a couple days. And rather than getting another apartment or whatever, just hit the RV.
Lynch also shares his experience at conferences to show other doctors how the treatment works and hear how the healthcare industry is treating other patients just like him.
Godspeed.
Yeah,
safe travels in the RV.
well.
Yeah. And it's going to be beautiful tomorrow. It's going to feel very different.
Well, it will feel different.
It wouldn't necessarily. Not tomorrow. Thursday.
It will feel good tomorrow, but unfortunately, it's going to be raining a lot tomorrow. Right. Beautiful conditions by Thursday, and that's going to continue for the weekend. Yeah, tomorrow noticeably cooler, but it is going to rain for a good portion of the day, especially the afternoon hours. But then very dry from Thursday through the weekend, pretty much no chance of rain, and those temperatures can be very comfortable. And on top of that, the humidity levels will be lower, which is the biggest difference from Thursday to Wednesday. So very nice weather's in the forecast for some of those days.
We'll keep you posted about concerts on the square tomorrow. Thank you, Jacob. We'll be right. Tomorrow is Wednesday. That means Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company will be with us on Live at 4. So be thinking about your plant and garden questions and get ready to email them in. Straight ahead tonight at 5, we'll tell you why some experts in Sun Prairie say the staff at West High School failed its students. We'll have more on that straight ahead at 5. That'll do it for us at 4, everybody. Hope to see you right back here tomorrow. You can catch us streaming always 24/7 on Channel 3000+. News 3 Now at 5 starts right now.